Where's
No,
my
no,
coffee?
no, no. Move that over there.
Voice recording. Where's my coffee?
You just stand over there and make yourself look busy, okay? I don't know what you're doing here. I fired you last week.
Oh, you need my
Move.
signature?
Stop. We don't even have that in the budget. I need you to move that over there and get that out of the screen right now.
I don't know what you expect me to do here.
All right.
Well,
Welcome back. Figuratively Speaking is back for, I'd say, probably the third time in maybe this year. Obviously, an accurate number. Quit the finger guns right now. I swear I will lose my shit. He's holstered the finger guns, folks. He's holstered them. So my cue card guy is telling me I need to ask. Penmanship is key. Penmanship is key there. Ask how things have been, like a green. Oh, Ben, not like a green bean.
why'd you
How
marry the
have
cue card
things-
guy that flunked out of elementary school, man? He can't fucking spell.
Can't even type or write or type or no matter what. I mean, if he's writing, he needs to figure out it's 2019, and we're not writing things anymore. We're typing. So I guess what I'm trying to say is before I fire him is how have things been since the last episode?
Since the last episode, I've been a world traveler. I've been all over the place.
He's
A
been
couple weeks ago, I got
everywhere.
back from Japan,
The land of the Japs. Ah, yes.
the land of the Japs, the land of Godzilla, land of burned people, land of nuclear bombs,
The land of the 1,000 paper cranes.
the land of. Never mind. That's probably not a great thing to say on recording. So
Strike that from the record.
starts with an H, ends with an Ente. So it was cool. I went to Japan for business. Didn't sleep the whole time I was there. Didn't sleep on the flight. Didn't sleep while I was there. Didn't sleep on the flight home. I love how that's the first thing I go to is I just didn't fucking sleep.
What did you experience in Japan? Lack of sleep.
Yeah, that's pretty much it. I was there for business. I saw some sights. I saw some people. I saw some people that saw some sights. Saw some unsightly people. I saw some sightly people. I saw all kinds of people. But the biggest experience that I had there is I accidentally experienced a bidet.
You see, bidets, I've always thought like I would be all in on a bidet. And then when you said accidentally, now I feel like I'm shifting.
Well, I'll tell you what, it actually wasn't that bad once I got used to it. So in Japan, like you're doing your business on the toilet. There's a panel off to the side with like 8 buttons. I do not advise doing what I did. I just pressed one. And this little arm came out inside the toilet bowl and just squirted me right in the keister.
Chocolate starfish.
Yeah, right in the keister. And then after it did this to me, it hit me with a shower, like just a four prong.
So it's kind of like the gardening tool that
Exactly,
you have
yeah.
jet, shower, soaker, flat, center, and probably another one. But it was just full blown jet right away, or is it a soaker?
It hit me in a jet right in my 6-year-old self, and then followed it up with a nice shower. I'll tell you what it was.
The arm
After I got used to
kind
it,
of went like this. I'm curious about the arm. So the arm just like, did it make like a cool noise or no?
it was like
That's what I'm.
yeah, and I was
And then I
like,
just picture Channing Tatum going, bust through the poop.
no, like it wasn't.
Bust through the poop.
So it wasn't. It wasn't like it hit me square, like it angled it perfectly and hit me square in the just right on up there. Cleaned my intestines pretty good, I'm pretty sure. I mean, after that it was
bubble from third grade gone.
I felt pretty clean though. I mean, there are a bunch of buttons. There's one that like warmed the toilet seat, which I gotta say I was not really a fan of. Felt like I was sitting down in the hotel room right after someone else had been in my hotel room.
Yeah, nothing's more awkward or nothing's more cringeworthy than sitting on a toilet seat that's warm and it's not from the heating register.
Well, I mean, it's. Would you rather have a warm one or a super chilly one?
You see, before I answer that, when I think of a warm toilet seat, I think of Modern Family. I don't know if you've seen the episode with Jay, and I believe it's Cam in the locker room where they're both going to drop the old pants after a game of, I think it was tennis or whatever. And then, but they're like back to back. So like when they dropped, their butts did that. He's gone black, folks. He has all the clearance now. So like when they dropped him, their butts just went. And like that's what I imagine when I sit on a warm toilet seat. That's what I feel like I'm doing with a complete stranger. So I don't like that. So I'm gonna take the cold toilet seat. But on the other hand, the cold toilet seat's really weird because when you sit on it, it kind of spooks you. It wakes you up, and you have to do like the cheek shimmy to warm it up.
And I'm. I mean, I've got to say, I probably prefer the cold one just because I know that I'm not really getting any other poop germs on my poop. Not contaminating my poop with other poop.
I'm not contaminating my cheeks with other man's cheeks.
The real question here though is, do you prefer a freshly cleaned toilet that has the blue liquid still inside, or one that you know has been used recently? So if you get a little bit of backsplash right in your backsplash, it's used clear water, or it's what I'll call minty spicy blue water.
See, I don't want to use the minty spicy blue water because that's gonna sting in the insides of me. Like, I'm assuming it's the Works, because the Works is like some of the best stuff for cleaning toilets.
Yeah,
that's gonna burn real bad. That's like, I might as well just take lye and pour it in my keister, because that's what I feel like that's gonna be like. So I'm taking the dirty waters. You can yell at me.
You're taking the non-minty keister. You don't
the
want.
only thing about the blue liquid that's cool is when you wake up in the morning and pee in it, and it just turns green.
Oh yeah, and you're just like, color.
I'm the Hulk.
First grade. Hey, I gotta say, I like your shirt, man.
Thank you. I happen to notice you are a Henley man yourself.
Henley man.
Oh no, folks, a little bit of an issue there. I got bidet,
but in the front. Yeah, P-Day.
How about we move on from this?
I went to Japan.
Just got ass sprayed and no sleep in Japan.
Yeah, and I saw some sights, saw some people, saw some sightly people.
How back in the States, did you hear the "I've been everywhere, man, I've been everywhere"?
Oh, I sang it. Yeah, it was that's a requirement. They tell you when you're checking in, like after you get off the plane, they're like, "Oh, you have to sing this at least one time."
God, I really soaked myself on that one.
All things meant for you.
Well, I just got done with. I got ass raped by school this whole semester.
Oh, that's
great at all.
That's not a PG phrase. This is rated R. So that is not a PG phrase that you just used.
This is not a PG podcast.
This is a family podcast. You know that
through and through. No, so I just had the worst semester of my entire life. It was just constant stress, constant no time for anything.
I can turn on the subtitles. Let me see if I can keep talking. I wonder if this is going to come through the video.
What's really fun is turning on the YouTube subtitles and hearing what it thinks we're saying, because sometimes it is completely off. But
this is spot on though.
I'm pretty sure I got through fairly unscathed. Definitely wasn't great, but I'm glad it's over. I'm looking forward to the winter semester coming up here pretty soon, because I will be starting a new internship. It rhymes with continental.
And so is that? I think we should
rhymes with controller.
We should just keep that going. This whole podcast. Anytime we bring up any kind of company, just rhyme.
Because we can't have free ads, of course. Because
no free ads.
If we look at my wallet, it's definitely not. I'm not getting ad money. So
I forget what I was trying to do.
You're trying to do something with subtitles.
I was trying to enter full screen mode. That's what I was trying to do this whole time.
But yeah, and last week I had my 21st, which we're not going to go into that too much. We're just going to say there was a lot of vomit and a lot of gibberish, and then I got to the point where whenever I needed to talk, there should have been subtitles for everybody else, or in simple terms, I got Jabba the Hutt drunk.
You know, on my 21st birthday, I got engaged to a man named Wolfgang, I think.
There was a transaction made, and people were swapped.
People were not swapped. So this man sat down next to me at the bar, and he goes, I remember, I know he wasn't smoking because we're not allowed to smoke in bars, but I need something to smoke really quick. I don't know. Yeah, here, I'll smoke my mouth. So he was like, do you want to get together, maybe marry me? And so he was like Austrian. That's my Austrian accent. And I don't remember what I said, so I may or may not be engaged to a man named Wolfgang, about 5.5 years strong. Still haven't gotten married, still haven't really heard from him, so I'm a little upset about that. But
someone owes you alimony.
Yeah, hell yeah, man.
So was he kind of smoking like this?
Those Mentos?
No, those are not Mentos. Does this look like it says Mentos on it anywhere?
No, I see a barcode.
Exactly. So there's, if anything, it's Tentos.
Yeah, so that's
But
what
yeah, that's
happened.
about what happened to me. Nothing else going on. The only thing that I've got going on right now is I just wrapped up Christmas shopping today because, like every year, the holidays are creeping up faster and faster. I just think that is a thing that happens with age. It's kind of like an exponential exponent,
You get less excited about it too. I mean,
and it just gets more
not
expensive.
like that angle your hand was just at.
It's exponential.
Ah, I hurt my hand. So yeah, I mean the holidays, man. Right in the thick of them here. We're recording on insert date that you're listening to it here, and so Christmas is just around the corner, or it just passed.
No, you messed that up. You messed that up. We're recording on December 19th. It is currently whatever date you're listening to.
No, because this is supposed to feel like a live conversation that we're having.
But everyone knows that podcasts are previously recorded.
No, everybody knows that we are recording this just for them live so they can talk to us. So that's how this works.
It's as if we're sitting right next to them.
So yeah, with holidays just around the corner, are there any like specific traditions or things you hate about holidays that you're really excited for that are really bothering you right now? What's on your mind, Fig?
So I'm gonna get into what I love about the holidays and traditions in just a hot second, but I need to get through what bugs me about the holidays. And that's that people are so goddamn inefficient that they walk slow in the parking lots, they walk slow in the stores, they drive slow on the roads, and they don't know what they're doing, or little Susie's running around like a madman around the aisle.
I don't like that Sue is my mom's name, and you just...
I said Susie.
Well, she used to go by Susie. Actually, your father or your... Actually, I don't know who someone in the family used to call her Susie, but that's my mother you're talking about. I need you to not talk about my mother, or else I'll come up there, and so help me God, I'll rip your head off your shoulders and stick it right up your minty keister. You leave your glasses alone.
Okay, fine. How about... I was going to say Johnny, but nope, that's not going to work either.
Oh, Yankee Doodle.
Let's go with Little Michael. Little Michael's running around the hallway like a complete madman.
Yes, please continue.
Running around, running into people, running into objects on the shelf.
Oh, here.
Running into objects on the shelf. Parents aren't watching them. And then, or you got fat-ass Jim standing there just blocking 3 aisles at once. And it's all for nothing because you're just trying to get that 97-cent wrapping paper because you're not paying $5.99 for Hallmark wrapping paper because you don't love your family that much. So that's what I hate about the holidays. Is there anything you hate about the holidays?
Well, something I realized this year that I don't like about the holidays is when you're in a relationship, this could go a number of ways, and I want you to know it's not as bad as you think. Just say that up front. So when you're in a relationship and you have 2 different family events that you have to go to on the same day, and families are nowhere close to each other. So like on Thanksgiving, we went down to Detroit to run the old turkey trot 10K, and then we went to. I'll leave the cities nameless, but we went to up here for the first Thanksgiving dinner, and then down here. Is this the right way for you, or is this backwards?
Yeah, it's right, but it kind of looks like you're also wrong in your hand directions. No. I can see it fine. I just think you're misjudging where cities are in the hand.
So we were in Sterling Heights, which is like up here, I think.
Sterling Heights, what?
And then we had to drive down to Ban Barber for...
Why are we just using B's for all of these?
I don't know. It's easy. But, so yeah, I mean, that was kind of annoying, but, I mean, there's not really too much else that I hate about it. I just finished buying all my gifts. I have the most expensive one, the most important one, the icing on the cake for the old lady. That won't be here in time for Christmas, so that's frustrating. So I hate that. Amazon is on my shit list right now.
Amazon's on my bit list.
So
I mean, that didn't sound good. Ooh, I did not mean that, people. Ooh.
So yeah, but I mean, there's not really too much about the holidays. I've never really been like real big on holidays, but it's kind of starting to get back into it a little bit. I don't know. Maybe someday I'll like them again. But no, but
Very
really
depressing
the
segment
worst thing,
there.
like agreeing with you, the worst thing about the holidays is definitely going to the stores and fighting with people over things. I mean, I know you have as well. I've been on the other side of it. My first job was at Broger. And man, do I have a couple wacky stories about, not even just Christmas, but or Thanksgiving or anything, but working on the other side of some of those. Like for instance, one Christmas I got to see my 350-pound ex-defensive lineman boss body slam buddy that was stealing a they were stealing a cart full of ham, like just stacked to the brim, just ham.
What, they need that many hams?
And I'm pissed because actually, I'm just remembering that they actually ran into my car with it and dented my bumper, and then he tackled them in the parking lot and promptly got fired because you're not supposed
Was
to
it
do
the white
that.
car?
Yeah, the gunboat that I bought from Brahma. And
Welcome to Big Your Tipley Beaking. It's your boy Big, and we're brought to you by the B-Man. B-Band.
Nope, don't like that. Call me K-Man. So basically, yeah, I got to see my boss body slam. So another one, I'm gonna save these aren't all Christmas related. These stories are just flooding back into my memory banks. I have a story about my old coworker getting fired in the most fantastic way. So you know how like outside of grocery stores there are like all those bike racks for people that ride their bikes there. They can park them, chain them up. So
Yeah.
So basically, there's a kid that brought their tricycle in to Broger and hooked it up to the bike rack, but didn't like lock it or anything. And it was like, oh, cool, this kid, brought their trike. They're trying to be, I don't know what they're trying to do, but it's cute. Kids on tricycles are cute. So my coworker does is he goes and takes the tricycle, brings it into the back of the bottle room, and if your local Broger has a lock on the bottle room, you should know that the code is 95% going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Because they think most people are going to stop at 4 letters or numbers. Shit. And I'll have you know that when I worked there, a 3-year-old managed to get by it just by going 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and then the door opened. They went in the back of the bottle room. So
How did you do it?
What he did is my coworker took this tricycle and took it into the back of the bottle room and just started like riding the tricycle around the bottle room where there's a camera. And my boss saw it and he got fired on the spot.
I mean, that's his exit strategy to get out of Broger. That's a fantastic exit strategy.
I mean, he could have just quit.
Wait, I mean, if it's Broger and he's trying to exit, do we call it Brexit?
No. So that was clever. So yeah, I mean, there was that. I got another big story, but this one might not be as friendly for the masses.
So wait, hold on. We'll do a little advisory. If you don't want to hear this graphic story, skip ahead to the number to be named later, and then you can skip. Go ahead.
Okay, so basically, there was when you get to be one of the higher ups in the customer service department at Broger.
What have you done? I mean, I don't know what Kroger is. I know what a Broger is.
So basically, there's a high turnover at Broger, and if you're there for like 2 years, you're pretty much the highest in like the bagger department, which is they call courtesy clerks. I haven't worked there in 10 years, and so
once a Broger employee, always a Broger employee. Am I right?
The Broger, but so basically, I was. When you get to be a higher up there, you work mornings a lot, be it in the summer or like on the weekends or something if you're in high school like I was. And that means you get to work 6 a.m. to 2 p.m. You get to clean the bathrooms, set all the machines up, make sure that bags are stocked, all that fun shit. And so I went into the women's restroom, which, by the way, is always grosser than the men's room.
Absolutely. And there's always just random specks of toilet paper on the floor for literally no reason.
Yeah, and they miss the like little like feminine trash cans a lot. Like I'm not saying all women do, but
Kobe.
I know you guys know it. But so basically, walked into the bathroom to clean it, and there was a smell that was just off. It didn't smell like poop. It didn't smell like urine or anything. It was just smelled off. So I'm kind of doing this thing, and just my mustache is actually kind of itching my nose a little bit. So I'm doing this thing. And I walk into the stall, and I see what I can only describe as an abortion in the toilet, and it smelled awful. We had to. I told my boss, and he went and looked, and he said, "Yep, that's what it looks like. There was a lot of blood, a whole lot of just grossness." And so we called in someone to have it professionally cleaned. We called in like some, I don't know, like a hazmat team. I don't remember who they called, but sent me home for the rest of the day, and I went home and vomited because the smell was just lingering in my nose. And so yeah, that is the story of that.
What was the I'm not gonna expect you to remember the conversations, but like, how did that work? Did you just like, did you run out of there? Did you just like slowly leave in like disbelief that you were like, what the fuck?
Well, I opened the door. This is how it went. I went, I'm gonna clean this toilet.
No. It's more like so the morning shift where you're like, all morning, you open the door and you're like, time to clean, and then you open up the other door and you went, shut that door, and then
I'm not even kidding here. This is what I remember.
Right out of there.
Like, because I actually looked at myself in the mirror briefly as I walked out, and I remember I was kind of like,
and then did you just like go to your boss and then just go, there's a
no, I actually went to
baby in the bathroom.
So the phone, we had like an intercom phone like right next to the
oh yes, call on.
I said
seafood department,
and I was like like this is me over the PA. I'm like Jason to the front restroom, please. Jason to the front restroom urgently. And then I hung it up, and he heard urgently, and he thought that someone had yacked all over the bathroom, and he was like, "Hey, what's up?"
You have it absolutely correct.
He's like, "Did someone get sick?" I'm like, "I might get sick," and he's like, "What are you talking about?" So then I'm like, "Well, there's a situation in the women's room, and I think I know what it is, but I kind of hoping I'm wrong." So I was hoping someone with, for some reason, I don't know why I thought he was experienced with this, but I was like, I want someone with a little more experience to get eyes on this, and he's like, he's looking at me like, "The fuck are you talking about?" So then he's like, "Oh yeah," he goes and checks. He's like, "That's exactly what you think it is. You know, tape it up." So we tape up both bathrooms, like the door.
I thought you meant the baby.
Like we tape.
Mummy, it's a mummy.
No. We wrapped him up and buried him out back and called it a day. No.
Brains.
That's a toilet mummy, so it wouldn't go after brains. It would eat your ass. So basically.
Poop.
So basically, yeah, they had it clean and they paid me for an unplanned day off, which was nice.
Speaking of unplanned.
Oh God, unplanned. What a poor choice of words. So I don't know if you have anything you think can top that from your time at Baldy.
Nope. No. I mean, the thing that I normally did was, again, not saying that we can compare this, but I would, like, a customer ask, like, "Hey, do you have any more stuffing in the back?" And I'd be like, "No, we just stopped running. We are completely out." And she goes, "Well, can you go check?" Now, I want you to understand what I just said, lady. I said, "No, we don't have stuffing on the shelf. I stocked the rest of it this morning. I don't think I misplaced the box of stuffing in the corner. I mean, I'll go look." So I walk back there, kind of with a little bit of attitude. I'll just punch the back door open, and then I will go back there, just punch the door. Falcon punch the door open.
And wait. And this is our new 3D segment on Figuratively Speaking.
So
I was like making whistling noises with my hand while I was doing it.
Now we gotta rewind it back. So,
and here's us running right at your screen.
So I go back there, and knowing that we don't have any back there, I kind of just like yell kind of loud so she can hear me. I'm like, "This is stupid. I know we don't have any." I'll throw a few boxes on the floor to make it look like I'm trying. And then I'll just yell, "Oh, look, we didn't have it." I walk back up there and go, "I'm sorry, ma'am. I didn't see any back there." She goes, "Oh, man." I go, "I'm sorry. Have a great rest of your day." And then she leaves, and then most likely I'm the one getting a report filed on. So that's all I got. But I say what we do now, like happened in that bathroom, we abort the segment.
Oh, no.
and we move on to the next segment.
I'll shift gears a little bit. So
Actually, hold on a second. Wait. I never got to say what I liked about the holidays.
Oh no, we don't like anything about the holidays.
I'm just a Grinch. No, the food, the smells, the snow, I guess the family.
Thanks.
I'm not really married, so I can't say I hate the family, I guess. So, yeah. I will say, important note is when there isn't snow, it really kills the Christmas spirit.
Yeah, and I don't know if we have snow in the forecast for this Christmas. I don't know that I do.
I think it's supposed to be like 40 something for where I'm supposed to be. But
well, I
mean,
we had a
Christmas.
We had a white Thanksgiving though. That was nice.
Yeah. The day after Christmas, I go up to Yankee Doodle Land and I go see my Faja. And
that was a lot of words you just said.
Yeah, I'll do that. But you know what isn't a lot? And that's the miles per hour of a snail.
I wasn't gonna go there yet, but I guess that's where we're going next. So today's hypothetical. Oh, no free ads. So
Barbucks.
Yeah, I wanted some coffee, and our fucking assistants here at Figuratively Speaking forgot my order, so they got me black coffee. So here's our hypothetical for the day. You are granted immortality, but a snail is also granted immortality. If this snail touches you and is always chasing you, and if it touches you, you die. Because you're not immortal, you're just like invulnerable. So you as yourself right now, how do you...
So essentially the only thing that can kill me is this snail then?
No, like if you get stabbed, you're gonna die.
Like the little look you had in your face. If you get stabbed...
You get stabbed, you die.
Immortal... Thanks, Robert. Okay,
immortal meaning you don't age.
Okay, so... And I'm assuming that I don't have like unlimited resources. Like it's like you take me right now and you just make a deathless snail, and that's it.
You stop aging, and there's a snail that's not aging, and he is currently like sitting out. He's invulnerable though. Like you can't have someone step on him for you. You can't
hire a hitman.
You can't drop a piano on him. And he is outside your front door right now.
All right, so. Since I don't have a private jet, I can't just fly away from my problem. So, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go somewhere dry.
Well, how are you getting away from him right now? He's at your front door.
The more time I buy from the snail, the longer I have to actually live and wait instead of having him catch up to me. So. Really, the big thing about this hypothetical is...
And I guess it's worth mentioning that he knows where you are at all times.
Right. So...
And he can swim.
Okay. So, the biggest thing about this hypothetical is you have to... Yes, you have to get away from the snail, but you also have to find a way to make a means of living. So, clearly, I'm going to be a gypsy... But I have to find a type of occupation that's always moving. So, like, I can't work in one place. So, clearly I'm going to be a Lyft or Uber driver. It's going to be shitty means, but I'm a gypsy, so I'm not, like, trying to have nice things. I'm just trying to keep on going. And plus, as a Lyft and Uber driver, he's constantly trying to catch up to you, and you're constantly leaving. But the only thing about that is if the snail is the passenger in the Uber, you got to tuck and roll.
Yeah, I was about to say, like, you guys are immortal, so if you're still doing this, like, in 1,000 years in futuristic Uber, you'll get an Uber, he'll adapt and he'll learn, you know, what you're doing, and you'll get a request from Sam Nail, and was Penelope just behind me?
Yeah.
And you'll accept it, and you'll be sitting there, and you'll be so jaded because you haven't seen the snail in years, and then he'll just jump in your car and jump on your back of your neck and poop on you or whatever he'll do to kill you.
Or honestly, the other option that I would take is I would realize that my life is going to be complete and utter trash if I have to try to compete with this snail. I'm just going to I'll put him on me myself, and I'll just suicide myself out of it.
Or maybe you just kill yourself some way else. So basically your answer is suicide.
Isn't that always the option? I'm kidding, folks.
What I would do is I would just avoid him as best I could. You know, like if he's outside my door, obviously the first thing I'd do is run. I'd hit him. You know, I'd press the B button. I'd hit him with a little spin move, and then I'd run out the door. And I'd move across the country because I just looked it up, and snails can only move about 200 meters per day, which is not very far at all. So I'd go to like California or something, get a job, buy a house there, and then I would also buy a house in like some country on the other side of the world. And every couple months, I would just switch between the houses. So I'd have to get dual citizenship, but I feel by the time he starts getting close, I'd be able to move back. So it'd probably be years. I'd be able to just kind of freely switch back and forth.
But I mean, also then again, like you mentioned with the Lyft and Uber thing, he's gonna. Oh, I fucked that up the whole time. Biffed and Boober. Haha, Boober. A grown ass man.
There's our title. Aha, Boober. Oh no.
So yeah, he's gonna learn my patterns of driving. I think he's gonna hop in. He's going to learn your patterns of which houses you're going to move to eventually.
So I guess I'll just kill myself too.
Right? Suicide. We're extra
man,
folks.
Well, I guess that's kind of the end of that hypo. So man, have you watched any good porn lately?
You know, I hate that you said that because I got a buddy who he's got like 2 catchphrases. One of them is, "How about them Pistons?" Or 2, "So watching any good porn lately?"
Well, on the topic of porn, I actually realized something the other day. Not while I was watching porn, because I don't do that, folks. That's dirty and unchristian.
And if he did, he'd have hairy hands.
This is a Christian podcast, so
and he'd have glasses on like me.
So the word strap-on, if you spell it backwards, no parts.
Almost seems like a type of thing a certain group would figure out.
Anyway,
I saw something about that the other day, and someone had a really good joke about that, but the joke escapes me, so I feel like I just wasted all of your time right there. My apologies.
You really do that all the time, so
I really do. So I guess no, I haven't watched any good porn lately, but I'll tell you what I have watched that's pretty good lately, and that's movies.
Bad porn? Oh.
Nah, mediocre.
Sad hand jobs.
No, 2019 was a fairly decent year for movies. It was a good year for a lot of good Netflix movies.
It was, and also, just I think where we should start out is actually live action Disney movies. There have been good ones. There's been bad ones.
Lion King, I didn't think was a good one.
Lion King was good, but not as good as the original. I'll tell you what, though. If you guys have been watching the pod, you know I'm a big Will Smith guy. Big Will Smith guy. He did a great job as the genie in Aladdin. I think I may have actually mentioned this on a pod.
I listened to the soundtrack to Aladdin, the live action soundtrack, and he was solid on the soundtrack as well.
It was good. It was I don't know if you saw the movie, but it was a solid flick. I liked it better than the original.
I've never seen Aladdin in general.
The original one I like better than the original. And excuse me, I'll scoot closer to the screen. And so yeah,
Aladdin.
Aladdin was pretty good.
Aladdin.
I mean,
obviously, we're going to say Endgame was a good movie. I mean, I think the topic kind of beat to death. Like, yeah, it was a fantastic movie.
Yeah, as far as Marvel movies go, I actually like the second Spider-Man better. But again, we've talked about that already, so I don't want to go back into that.
Marvel and the aspect are kind of like a dead horse on this podcast.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know how I'm going to feel about the next phase. I think I'm almost kind of over it, and I'm just going to watch Spider-Man movies from now on. But
Spider-Man, Black Panther, is probably what I'm going to. Yeah, like Black Panther. I don't think you can really do much more with Black Panther either. Like,
no, he kind of did his thing, but I'm just kind of over it at this point. I don't know if I'm really looking forward to Star Wars, which is actually out tonight, I believe. I'm gonna watch it, but I don't know how excited I am for it because this trilogy isn't very good. But let's just kind of get away from Marvel and Star Wars because I feel like that's what we always talk about. So we can talk about like other movies we watched. Like I know, I just actually recently watched. This is gonna be out of left field. I recently watched that Tom Hanks Mr.
Oh yeah, how was that? I mean,
that movie was.
See that, but I never actually got to.
Man, I went into that movie or thinking it was just going to be like an episode of Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood or something, but it actually ended up being pretty good. Got a little visitor down here, Penelope, coming to say hey. What up? How about
The say hey pup. Any
so
of you baseball fans would get that.
there was like a story kind of running in parallel with it, and it was
Was
pretty
it
good.
kind of like a about Mr. Rogers? Kind of got to that
Oh
point.
yeah, no, it was about him. And let me just tell you, the best part about the movie, as is usually the best part of the movie that he's in, was Tom Hanks. This man was fantastic.
Oh, of course. Tommy Hanks is probably one of my favorite actors. It was one of my favorite actors. I don't know if he's my favorite, but he's up there.
Like he almost didn't take the role because he didn't want to do a disservice to Mr. Rogers, which I don't know if you watched him growing up, but Mr. Rogers is a fantastic human being, one of the best, that I'm aware of to ever live. And but old Tommy Bahami Hanks, man, he got all of the like facial expressions down, all the mannerisms down. Like when he spoke, his upper lip just kind of didn't move, just like Mr. Rogers. And I don't know if you saw what I just did, but I can do the old Mr. Rogers too. But yeah, he was very, very good. The story was good. The movie was a lot better than I thought it would be, and I thought it was going to be really good.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of Tom Hanks' serious roles in movies, a lot of them don't get a lot of credit they deserve. Like, just to name one, Bridge of Spies was one. Bridge of Spies, he did a fantastic job in playing the lawyer in the whole Rudolph Abel Soviet spy scandal in the United States, and that was probably one of the best like war movies I've seen. And it was just a Cold War movie, but it's like not even talked about. I guess that could just be people not really knowing the story or just not really caring to know. But the moral story is that Tom Hanks can play any role he needs.
I mean, he does comedy, he does drama. I mean, he was really good in like Captain Phillips. I really enjoyed that movie. Right. Not a lot of people's favorite movie, but I really, really like Captain Phillips. So there's another movie. I don't know. Did you see the movie Get Out? That Jordan Peele movie?
Mm-mm.
Well, he had another movie that came out a lot more quietly than that movie, and it's called Us.
Right.
With Lupita Nyong'o and M'Baku from Black Panther. His name escapes me right now.
Was it? Okay, I might know who you're.
They're basically like I don't really know how to describe it because this movie is just so masterfully done. It's basically like a family and a bunch of perfect copies of them that are like very like, but there's something off about them. Like when Lupita Nyong'o's like clone or whatever talks. She kind of talks like this. Like very strained, like her voice is coming from like her throat or something. And yeah. But it was very I can't really do the movie justice by describing it. It was a very, very good movie. Just on its own.
Is it on Netflix?
No, I watched it in the theater on opening night, and then I actually watched it on the plane on the way to Japan.
Okay.
And so yeah, if you guys have a chance to watch the movie Us, I wholly recommend it. It was a very good movie.
If it's Netflix or Hulu, I'll definitely hit it.
I mean, I'll look for it, if I find
It Chapter 2 I really enjoyed. I thought it was funnier than scary. Mm-hmm. Just like every time they did the bit with look at the little fat kid, the fat kid bit was my favorite.
I think the best part of that movie was Bill Hader. Bill Hader is amazing. Yeah. He's so funny, especially the scene with the three doors where they're labeled not scary, scary, and very scary. And then they're like, oh, well, it's reverse psychology. Let's go through the door that says very scary. And they go through the door that says very scary, and someone comes running at them, so they slam it shut. And then they run over to the one that says not so scary, and they open it up, and it's like a little puppy that turns out to be a monster, and it scares the shit out of them, so they just run away. And then the other guy's like, next time we're going through the door that just says scary. And Bill Hader's like, next time? Whoa!
Yeah, I enjoyed it. Chapter 2. Let's see, what else did I see in theaters? Saw Lion King, didn't care for it. I thought Donald Glover did a very good job in it. I mean, of course, James Earl Jones owned it.
Well, the thing that's the problem with that movie was, I think Beyonce just like overshadowed everybody, and it irritated the hell out of me.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
I'm not a big Beyonce guy.
Casting for Timon and Pumbaa, I just hated. Is what really ruined the movie for me.
Yeah, I mean Eric. No, he was Ed. So that'd be Seth Rogen and Billy Eichner.
Yeah, I knew going into it, I knew it wasn't going to be the same. But those two were just completely different than what I expected. I mean, having some of the live action stuff was really cool because like I'm a really big like African like Serengeti type of stuff. Like I really like that kind of stuff. So I kind of enjoyed the live action part of it. But yeah, I didn't really care for that one. Let's see, what else did I see? I saw Midway. That was pretty good. It was a low budget type of movie, which you can tell in it. Ed Skrine. I don't know if you know who that is. Oh yeah,
Yeah.
he was Francis in Deadpool.
Mm-hmm.
Terrible East Coast accent. Absolutely terrible. He
What is
sounds
he
like the
naturally?
slow kid from school.
Is he naturally British?
He might be, but either way, it was not good. The movie itself was cool just because I'm a big history buff and whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna hop into Netflix movies that I really enjoyed, and the one's gonna top the cake for me is that's what I just talked about, is The Irishman.
Mm-hmm.
If you can sit through a 3.5 hour long movie, Irishman's the way to go.
Well, the cool thing I read about that movie is they actually made it that long on purpose and like kept in a lot of stuff that was really like unnecessary just because apparently I didn't see it, but apparently through the movie like some of the characters get worn down. And apparently they made the movie that long so you like as the viewer also kind of felt that worn down kind of, oh my god, this is still going kind of thing, and you got just as tired as they did. So they did that on purpose, and I thought that was actually really cool, and I'm looking forward to watching it. I might have some time to watch it, while I'm off for the holidays. But
Right.
how many stars out of 5 would you give it?
I'm gonna give it. Honestly, I love mob movies. I'll give it a 5.
That's good. Yeah, I mean a good like gangster like
Yeah.
movies.
And it's not
good.
just like your typical like shoot 'em up movie. Like there's a story behind. Like you have to like this isn't a movie that you can watch and then just like play around on Twitter or play around on whatever you do on your phone. And like you have to be in it the whole entire time because there's flashback after flashback in it. But what really annoyed me about the movie was what annoys me about a lot of things is just like the reviews and critics of it, like saying that Robert De Niro's character and that the daughter in that was the most important character in the whole movie. I was like, nah, I don't think so. Like she had like 7 lines, if that.
Mhm.
I'd say Robert De Niro or Al Pacino were the most important of the role.
Right. Speaking of Robert De Niro, he's in another movie that we saw this year that we both thought was pretty good. I'm talking about Murray getting what he fucking deserves.
Oh yeah, that's right.
I'm talking about the Joker.
That's what I completely forgot about.
Now, see,
You mean
the thing I like
Murray?
about the Joker is it wasn't a comic book movie. It wasn't like a supervillain movie. It was a movie about mental illness and about how the Joker came to be, and like it was very creepy and very dark, but it wasn't like scary. It wasn't actiony. It was just very. I thought it was very well done. I thought Joaquin Phoenix did a phenomenal job.
Yeah.
Absolutely phenomenal. I mean, when you think about method acting, the actors that play the Joker are usually the first ones that come to mind because they have to get so insane for the roles. Like Jared Leto. I mean, bad example. He's not a great Joker, but I mean, he spent 6 months, just making himself insane, and I believe Jack Nicholson did that as well when he played his. Heath Ledger, of course, the greatest Joker of all time, arguably. It may have contributed to him killing himself, and I mean, so Joaquin Phoenix lost a lot of weight.
I was about to ask, didn't he actually? Yeah.
Oh yeah, he lost like 50 to 60 pounds in like a year, which is incredibly unhealthy. But
did he kind of do like the same thing that Christian Bale did for I can't remember the name of the movie where his diet was mostly like cigarettes and water.
Yeah, and basically lost a bunch of weight for it. But yeah, I mean, The Joker was a really good movie. I'll be honest, it messed me up for a few days afterwards, and I would walk around just kind of doing his laugh, looking insane on my own.
Wait, which laugh was it?
Not the one where he's just laughing, but like the Joker laugh. Like
every time that scene hit, I actually. I just started laughing every time the syndrome laugh or whatever hit.
Yeah, I mean, like there were a lot of people that didn't like it and they thought that it was too real and I went and saw it with my girlfriend, and she had a very good point where like after the events that happened in Colorado after The Dark Knight came out, where the guy shot up the movie theater, like this could inspire people like, oh, I'm just like him. Why don't I do this too? Why don't I incite riots? Why don't I, go on talk shows and kill talk show hosts after telling them it's what they fucking deserve? And but I mean, putting it in its own scope, like outside of all of that, I thought it was a really good movie.
I thought the soundtrack was great. That's just because I'm a big Kerner guy.
Mm-hmm.
I will say I don't think Frank Sinatra wanted his music going for this.
No, probably not.
Yeah, I really love the music.
Mm-hmm.
It was kind of like a Beautiful Mind-esque type of movie where you kind of have to distinguish what's real and what isn't. And I kind
Yeah.
of like those movies where it's kind of like it gives you an incentive to watch, kind of, but at the same time, it's kind of like, all right, I don't want to do a math puzzle.
Well, I mean, it's like the movie's told from his perspective, so you don't know
Right.
what if it's just a story or if it actually happened. I mean, obviously it is a story, but you don't know if it's like him making it
Yeah.
up or if it's like the story that they wrote. And they kind of get into that at the end when spoiler alert, he it goes back to like him in the insane asylum and then he kills the psychiatrist that he's talking to. It's like because at the end of his story, he wasn't arrested. I mean, it could be saying one, he eventually got arrested, two, he never left the asylum, or three, he got there after he killed his mom or whatever. But I mean, it was just a really good story of like what's real and what's not. And I think the director or the writer or somebody went into what actually happened, and I don't remember exactly what they said, but they basically talked about like what actually happened and what was just him making it up. I mean,
Right.
a lot of it was actually happened, but there was like a fine line.
They were saying that Zazie Beetz was a really important character in that movie. That
Oh
she's
yeah.
probably going to be in the next.
Well, because the reason she was so important in that is because she was really the first thing that told you that he might be making some of this up. Because
Yeah.
throughout the film, he interacts with her, and then there's a scene in the film where he goes to her house, and she has no idea who he is. Like
Yeah.
she just knows him as the guy down the hall. So yeah, that was that. But to wrap it up, kind of that film was very very well done, very well done.
Yeah.
It
I mean,
may have been
it was hard for
inappropriately
me
timed,
to
but
really like it just because when you think Joker, you think Batman, the DC universe,
mhm.
and everything, and it's really hard to the whole Joker Batman story. So it was really hard to watch that, not no knowing that it isn't, but trying to convince yourself that it's not the actual Batman story. Like, what was he, 30, 40 something year old Joker and 7-year-old Bruce Wayne? Like,
Yeah, so then Bruce Wayne is in his 30s. What's Joker, 60 or 70? Like,
yeah.
yeah, I mean,
So
I think it was a good like origin story almost, but
yeah, I think that
again,
was what
I
they
don't
were
want to
aiming
spend too
for.
long I don't want to spend too long discussing this, but I mean, it was a good film. I
Yeah.
can't and then as far as the rest of the year, I saw a movie with like Leo DiCaprio
Oh,
and Brad Pitt.
yeah.
Once Upon a
Once Upon
Time
a
in
Time in Hollywood.
That movie,
I
I
heard
don't
it
know.
was great, but I heard it was also terrible.
It didn't make a lot of sense. It felt
That's
like you
like most
started in the
Tarantino
middle of a
movies.
story. Like you got three storylines. Feels like you started in the middle of all of them, and none of them really wrapped up. So I
Uh,
don't, that's not one I really want to go into too much. But again, that's
no.
another one that kind of felt like you were getting someone else's story that they were making up while they were in the story. Because there's a part where Brad Pitt's character beats up Bruce Lee like handily, and
Mhm.
that probably wouldn't have happened
Right.
because
Yeah,
Brad.
that one like it looked good just because like the lineup for actors in that and with
Oh yeah.
Tarantino doing it looked like
It
it's
was
like
it was a very
okay, this could
it was a
be a
very
really
Tarantino
good
movie. It was a very
movie.
Tarantino. So
Yeah,
I
because I
feel
mean
like
Django was like bonkers.
oh yeah, I mean it was a good movie. It just the story you had it's one you gotta watch more than once, I think. I feel like
Oh,
we're
okay.
getting a little bogged down. It's a serious conversation. So I'm gonna mix it up a little bit and I'm gonna read to you a very topical article. Well, the headline to it. I'm not reading the whole article, so we can kind of discuss it a little bit, or maybe a little blurb as we will. So we were talking about Japan earlier. I came across this article the other day that just cracked me up. So, 67-year-old Japanese man was found dead in a Tokyo suburb. Ha 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 ha.
You
Police
get
say
what
he
you
was
fucking
murdered.
deserve.
Police say he was murdered with a blunt instrument. Now, let me just tell you that in Japan, murder does not happen. It's like 3 per million deaths or something like that. And the suspected motive was the suitcase filled with the equivalent of 1 million US dollars that he went around showing everyone he met at a party. Don't you feel like he was just asking for it?
That's just like that's such a baller way to try to pick up chicks too. Like Hey,
Look
what's
at
your
my
name?
money.
Says his name. I'm not really interested in you, but do you want to see what's behind door number one? Opens up the briefcase. Then later goes on insinuating prostitution, but he doesn't actually go through. He just like showing people the money.
Oh yeah,
Show me
no.
the money.
I just thought it was so funny that he, the article literally said he went around showing it to everyone he met.
Is this the birth of Japanese man as opposed to Florida man?
No,
Is he?
because I'll tell you what, with my experience in the old Japanese man is an older man that wears a mask over over his mouth, a white like surgical mask basically, and farts a lot and sleeps on trains.
Instead of the girl who sleeps on the train or whatever that book is called, the
Oh yeah, this
farting
is
man who sleeps on the train.
and for people that wear masks so much, like there was a lot of uncovered sneezing. Maybe that's why they all wear masks.
They got the sneezies.
Yeah, they got
Never
the
the
they got
sneezies.
the achooes.
I wonder like what happened like as this guy with the money man with the briefcase would meet people, they'd be like, you need to be careful of doing this. You need to be careful of showing everybody your money. He's like, oh no, it's fine. And then
I'm good.
yeah, and then that he gets to one person, they go, give me the money. He's like, wait, no, this is my money.
No, I'm showing you my money, not your money.
You show me your money. And then takes the briefcase and
I'll show you mine
bonk.
if you show me yours.
What do you think? Well, yeah. Well, what do you think? So like the Batman comics, like whenever Batman would punch someone, punch would show up on the screen or bop. What do you think the equivalent to that would be in Japan?
Bonk. Oh no, it'd be bonku.
If it was, what are we gonna say? What's a hitting word that has an L in it?
Oh man. I don't know, but that just reminded me of there's a comic where Captain America slaps somebody and the noise it makes is fap. Fap.
See, like the only thing I thought of with L was flam, but that's definitely not a hitting word.
Blam?
Flam?
No, what about blam with a B?
Bram. Bramble jam. Whoa, Black Betty.
Whoa,
Bramble jam.
Whoa, Black Betty. Bram.
Bram. Whoa, Black Betty. Sound like you have a mouthful of potatoes.
Mouthful of marbles.
Look at Kit. It's a callback.
It is. All right, man. Well, you got anything else, or are we good? Or...
I think this about does it. Folks, we're back. We don't know for how long. It depends on how much I get mouth raped again this time for this semester. Well, last time was ass rape. Now it's mouth rape. So we'll see what happens.
You're just getting spit roasted, aren't you?
I'm just getting passed around the old.
You are being made the Austin la spit.
I'm crazy like a meatball, like a sloppy meatball.
Oh no, Mario! You bunked the pizza.
It's not too good pasta.
I think we're ready for outro. Are we not?
Mamma mia, hits it.
Italian dance with me. Skip ahead a little bit.
This noise make commercials very angry, making me very angry in 2010. This song is pretty blazing meatballs. Until next time, this has been Figuratively Speaking.
I don't remember what my name is, but I am Soviet man, no Italian.
That's because you impostor Soviet Igor.
Or am I impasta?